Okay, for those of you watching on the YouTube channel or later on, this is, what's the date today, everybody? 29th of May, 2018. 19. I'm getting there. My name is Mike Bjorkman. Most of you I know. I've been with EXP officially since September 1st, 2018. That's what I was trying to say. We have about 300 people in our organization right now. From what I was told last week, there's only about 40 people out of 21,000 that have done what I've done in the last 8 months as far as building that sort of organization. And the reason we're here today is so I can show you and tell you what I've done and what we've learned. I've learned from a bunch of different stuff, and I'm going to bring all that out for you guys today. So I wanted to start out with is something I learned a couple weeks ago at a seminar, which was mind-blowing to me. A movement expands as fast as leadership is developed. Right? So Brent Gove, a good friend of ours, is trying to identify and build leaders within a company. A company like this needs leaders. I consider myself a leader, and I want to help train, coach you guys, and make difference in your lives. Some people come to EXP just for the real estate. They love the cap, they love the stock, they love the marketing, they love the support, the cloud-based, whatever it is, whatever, doesn't matter. But leadership, every company needs. So as fast as we could build leaders in our organizations, this company can grow and take over. Any cloud-based company we talk about, like Uber, Amazon, all those things, they're weird at first, right? They're like the first time I logged into Netflix, I was tripping out. I'm like, I don't know about this. They're trying to steal my identity, all weird, you know. I am 47 years old. I think about things like that because my dad told me things like that. But anyway, so once a company that's cloud-based gets momentum, it typically takes over. And you can see how it's taken over in a big way in our lives. So it depends on what you come to the company before. But this business is important to me because I've had other businesses. This business is at least 10 times easier than any other business. If you think about if you started a Subway, a pizza place, a clothing shop, a spin place, any of these things, you have widgets to sell, you have inventory, you have shrinkage, you have employees, you have all this workman's comp insurance, you have brick and mortar, you have all this stuff that goes into it, and tons of overhead and nightmares to build a business. Our business, all we have to do is build a team and support them and make millions of dollars. I, in my career, in my life, have never seen, besides winning the lottery, an opportunity like this. Some of you that are interested in that, you will probably agree. There is no other opportunity that I'm aware of that is this simple to do as long as you focus on what you're doing. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. So if we know that this business is 10 times at least easier than any other business, why aren't we growing it, right? What are some of the things in our head? What are some of the things we have to accomplish to take our business to the next level, our company? Would you agree we're building a company and a business? You guys individually are building your own brokerages. That's huge. Some of you don't even have broker's license. Some of you guys don't even have enough experience to sell a commercial building, or, you know, there's a lot of things that you have the opportunity to do that nobody else does. Again, I said you're pioneers of an industry, and you guys are in the forefront of everything magical about real estate, and I'm so proud to be part of you guys. BrentGoveResources.com. I can't tell you guys enough what Brent has done for my life. He is so giving and so just such a great supporter, and you guys have access to him, and you want to get to know this gentleman. All he's doing is trying to build and change lives. Obviously, he wants to build an amazing life for himself, but I've never met anybody so giving and so open and honest and transparent about what they're trying to do. So he gives everything away at that website. The most important thing on that website is the boot camp, because it's different. Brent will probably watch this and he'll say, whoa, Mike, that was a lot different than my boot camp. But I don't care, right? He's talking to hundreds of people at a time. I'm talking to our team, our organization, our intimate group, and I want to help you guys out in a different way. So watch that bootcamp video several times. I watched it again this morning just for a few minutes. He gave me 3 or 4 books in there that I forgot that I need to buy. Those books are really good books that everybody has tried to tell me. There's tips and tricks in that bootcamp that I'm not going to go over today. So do yourself a favor. You owe it to yourself if you're going to take this business seriously to really get more and more involved. All right. These Facebook groups, I can't begin to tell you how important they are. Right? EXP Pros, right here, anything that's important that I run across, I'm going to post in here. I would really encourage you guys to turn your notifications on. I do a video the other day. There's almost 300 people in there. There's only like 80, 90 views on it. There should be 300 because, again, if you're going to take your business seriously, I'm putting things in here that effing make a difference. You guys understand that? That's real stuff that I'm putting in there. I don't put anything in there just for some fake content to keep things moving. It's important. I don't, and especially I don't want people putting, I'm looking for an agent here and there. It's not that type of group. This is an educational group for EXP pros. If you want to find agents all over the place, and I'm trying not to delete that stuff, I'm trying to be cool, but really I want this to be an educational group, not a group where we goof off and look for agents and stuff like that. EXP Realty, the actual company Facebook page, mind-blowing. Every day, new announcements come out. I don't know if you guys realize how fast. One of our core values at our company is being agile, and we're moving at the speed of light. And they're making announcements every single day. And the worst thing you could do is not know what's going on with your company, right? So pay attention to that. Turn the notifications on. And then workplace. How many of you have been workplace in the last week? Thank God, most of you. So there's a few groups that I really recommend in there mostly. The water cooler chat, you learn a lot, right? That's just kind of if you were working at KW or Coldwell Banker and went to the water cooler, you would just hear what's normal chat. People are talking about stuff. But the groups that I really recommend in there the most are the listing presentations. That's pretty cool. EXP announcements, obviously. And then there's another one for Marketplace. Marketplace has a lot of really cool stuff in there too. But regardless, this is, if you guys want to learn how to talk to your broker and management and the higher ups at EXP, this is how they live and die, by Workplace. This is the only way. You guys call me every day. How do I get a hold of this person? How do I get that? That is, I'm on that chat all day, every day, talking to people. That is the way to get a hold of anybody at the company that's faculty or an employee. Understand? All right, so please, you guys, if you're going to take your business seriously, spend a lot of time in these groups. I cannot tell you how important that is. All right, so I wanted to give you guys some of the tips and tricks on where I'm learning a lot of this stuff, and I'm going to give these books out. I'm going to put these slides actually in the group in the units. So this is one of the ones we most recently were introduced to. It's Building an Empire, Exactly What to Say. Networking secrets. You guys realize you're at a network marketing company, right? Okay. So Brent Gove obviously is where I'm learning. The other EXP leaders, there are about, I don't know, Rosie, what do you say, about 100 people at our company that are very instrumental. They're on the board, they're the biggest money earners, and they make things happen at our company. To learn, watching these people, what they do, what they say, how they conduct themselves, is really important. And we were with a lot of them in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago or last week or whatever it was, and they're fascinating people to be around. I've been at Remax. I was there for 19 years, KW for 5.5. I was around some pretty dynamic sales people. You know, I meet a lot of them in lab coat. I meet a lot of them in closing table. These people are different, you guys. They're business-minded leaders. They are not just realtors. These are fantastic people, investors, and just mind-blowing people. So watch the EXP leaders, network marketing books. We're talking about network marketing seminars. Priority Networker is one that I was speaking at a couple of weeks ago. Half of the stuff that I put in this presentation I learned from there or put somewhere. There's people, 7-figure incomes all day long, selling stuff like you would not believe. Like the water filters and, you know, all the typical MLM kind of things. These people are making millions selling widgets, and we have an opportunity that is so much greater, but we are in a network business, right? Your net worth directly relates to your network, right? So this is what we're doing. We're building this company organically through agents, and we need to understand that. There is no recruiters that are paid, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year like Remax and KW and the companies that are actually going to go out of business because of that. We don't have that. So in order for you to get your compensation for contribution, you need to pay attention to this. If success leaves clues, I'll just do it again, right? I've built teams. I've built companies, right? One of the ways I got hooked on residual cash flow is because I started in 2007 a property management company called SCV Leasing. When you get a paycheck every couple of weeks like a normal person, it's a pretty good feeling. Some of you are very blessed to have a spouse that actually brings in a paycheck every couple of weeks, so you're not a big stress case. But I'm a stress case, right? I hate selling houses because it's a finite thing. if I get hurt, if I get up in the morning and I don't go to work, we don't get paid, right? But what I learned about property management, residual cash flow, it's pretty powerful. I'll make anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 a month, whether I'm in the Bahamas, Alaska, it doesn't matter. I don't need to sell houses if I don't want to. I could comfortably move to Texas or Florida and live like a king, right? And that's pretty cool, and I know it won't stop. It just keeps coming in. To know that you have money coming in is pretty powerful. It makes you relax. It makes you want to enjoy life a little bit more. But the opportunity at EXP is 100 times greater than what we have available at California Leasing, my property management company today. It's so much more lucrative that you can't even compare the two. All right, so here's these books again. There's a couple other ones that I threw on here. GoPro, the guy that did GoPro, 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketer, The 4-Year Career, Your Own Life. These books, when I put them in the Facebook group, I would get them on audio, listen to them on the treadmill. Every single one of these books, I've heard bits and pieces of, or the whole thing, and they are fantastic, okay? So I'll make sure and get you guys that. This is kind of cool. So we talk about your life, your choices, and your actions. You guys have been to 100 seminars, 100 meetings. Your broker at your old company has stood up and said about your actions, right? And even Brent Gove talks a lot about massive action creates results. I wanted to talk about this real quick because when I read this, it was pretty important because like a lot of people say, they go, EXP is a stupid name. What the hell does EXP mean? That is I'll admit, for 5 years while I was at HomeSmart building that company, I was like, that is the dumbest name. I would never go there because of the name, right? But let's look at this a little bit. It says when the founders were searching for a name for their cloud-based company, there was 2 reasons. Number 1, it was available, but number 2, it's the prefix for so many great words. Here's an expose of highlighting some of those words. When people enter the real estate world, the first thing they do is contact an expert. Would you guys agree you're real estate experts? Stuff starts to make sense. What's up, Darren Campbell? It really starts to make sense through the experience, right? Is buying or selling a home an experience? Do we have experience? It's a powerful word. Now I'm starting to like this name a little bit more. Getting together over a cup of espressos. Lame is a nice approach for explaining the process and reviewing expenses. Do we explain a lot of stuff? Yes. Do we have expenses? Yes. To be profitable in our business, and Tammy and I know this very well right now, do we need to watch our expenses? Do we need to understand our expenses? Do buyers and sellers need to know their expenses? This word is starting to get better. Sellers expect. Do sellers and buyers expect us to deliver a certain amount of customer service, a certain amount of loyalty, a certain amount of expertise for them? Yeah. EXP is not sounding so bad anymore, is it, guys? So it's kind of cool. Buyers are looking for all possible listings, excluding expires, view on their home search. Many times we're traveling on expressways and exploring their options. So it does have a bunch of cool stuff. But let's go back to expert, experience, explaining. Those are powerful words. Now all of a sudden I'm proud and I'm in love with my company name. And I like to explain that to people. Okay? Does that make you feel a little different? Has anybody not heard that before? Cool. All right, so I'm glad we got to talk about that. So this is something I've been talking and learning a lot about. If you guys do not design your life, somebody else will. Do you believe that? Yes. There are people, risk takers, pioneers like you that say, listen, to make my life easier, I'm going to design somebody else's. How do they do that? Sorry about the leaves falling on you. You work 9 to 5. You get 2 weeks vacation. I may or may not give you benefits. Somebody's designing your damn life. That's scary to me. I've been super blessed for a long time not to have a boss since 1991. When I walked out of LensCrafters in corporate America, I looked back and said, I will never have a boss again. And to this day, I've not had a boss.
Can you say that again?
If you do not design your life, somebody will. Okay, so this one's even going to get better. So again, design your life or somebody will, but this one even hit me more. Build your dream or somebody else, or you're going to build somebody else's. If you work at Remax right now, whose dream are you building? Dave Linegar's, right? If you work at KW, whose dream are you building? Gary Keller's, right? We're the only company on the planet that we get to build and design our own life, right? We have agent ownership in the company. We have revenue share with the company. We get to build as big or as small as we want. How cool and powerful is that? So you guys remember, if you fail at this mission, you are going to be doing somebody else's dream. You're going to be building their dream, building their life. They're going to be the one on the yacht, not you. You're going to be the one cleaning their yacht. You're going to be the one paying for their yacht. Who wants to pay for somebody else's yacht? Raise your hand high. Nobody. Is this making sense, you guys? Yeah. All right. Let's move on. So we boil this down. Now, Kim Challen is one of the owners of Priority Networker, and she is a fantastic woman. She owns Fit, Mom Tribe, all this stuff, and she did a presentation down in San Diego about this. The thing that makes the thing that stops us from designing our life or building our dreams is fear. Anything, if you look at anything you do on a daily basis, fear is what stops us. Now, I know fear firsthand, right? I'm a very fearful person. When I first started door knocking, I'd drive around the block 100 times to pick the right house to stop. I was fearful of everything. Calling it for sale by owner or expired, there's fear in there. I don't like that stuff, right? But this is a job. You guys got to work. Do you want to dig a ditch or build somebody else's dream, or are you willing to pick up the phone? Right? So how do we overcome fear? And I like to talk about relaunch and reset your business right now. We've all been at the company a certain amount of time, and I'm going to speak from experience by myself. I feel like I've only done maybe 1/10 of what I should be doing, right? So this is a perfect opportunity for me to get over my fear and for me to reset, for me to rise and me to relaunch my business. And you guys can do it just as easily. It's just a matter of getting really intense with this fear thing. Let's get rid of it. And she talks a lot about this, and I wanted to point out this book first because I'm reading it right now, Caroline Leaf. She has very scientific evidence about fear in your life. And it's an important book to read because I'm reading it going, there really isn't any fear. Like this is crazy to me. Choose your thoughts, and they choose your thoughts, they obey you. Right? You can tell your brain to think about whatever you want. The other night I was having a really bad dream. And I don't know if you guys have ever had a dream like this, but I was stuck in it. And I knew I was dreaming and I couldn't get out of it. And I was like, this is insane. I'm living a terrible nightmare over and over and over. And I pulled myself out of it just enough to go, dude, are you insane? Stop this dream. Control your ass. This is stupid. You're not stuck in this world. You're not going to get murdered by this thing, and all this stuff's not going to happen. I was able to pull myself out of it, and I controlled my thoughts subconsciously. And I was like, dang. And I was reading this book, and I'm like, that's really powerful. Repeat this after me. My thought life is a choice. My thought life is a choice. What you think about happens. And I love this one down here. If you knew how powerful your thoughts were, you wouldn't be thinking them. You wouldn't be. I like this one down here. Sickness is caused by health and by thoughts. I don't know if my wife is still sitting behind me, but I'm scared to say this. We were supposed to go somewhere the other day. We were supposed to go to the gym on a Sunday, and I was super tired, and I didn't want to go to the gym. I'm sitting in front of the mirror, and I said, what kind of BS can I make up to not go to the gym? And I said, I know. I'm going to tell her my back hurts. The second I said that, I was doing nothing. I was almost to my knees, and I had to go to the chiropractor because my thought was so powerful that I whacked my back out of shape. It was insane. Now, I've done this a lot of time, and Tammy and I recently experienced some sickness in our lives. Her and I were doing a lot of traveling. We were both kind of sick at the same time. And you know when you're just fighting that sickness, you're fighting it, and you're fighting it, and it goes on for a week or two, and you're just like, you're not deathly ill, but you're just not 100% there. Well, I kept telling myself, I'm not sick, I'm fine. But I was just getting worn out, I was getting tired, I was at the end, I just had no more energy left. And all these people around us were sick, and I was noticing, oh, they're not working, everybody's hugging them, sending them soup, and I'm like, I want to be sick. And as soon as I consciously made that decision in my mind, I was deathly ill. Like, I could not move, I was in so much pain, I was like, I was sick, and I was preaching this to the heavens. And it was crazy. And it was, what day was it? Easter Sunday. And I called Tammy and I said, I'm going to the doctor. And I'm for sure going to the ER from this doctor. That's how sick I am. I go to the doctor. I sat for 2.5 hours. And this is a true, honest to God story. 2.5 hours. I went into the doctor. This doctor comes out. She looks at my nose, looks at my ears. What's your symptoms? And I go, I'm just on my deathbed. She goes, you're fine. You're not sick. Holy shit. That's powerful, right? So that second I said, I'm not sick, you're right. I got up and I was fine. The next day I was 100% fine, back to normal. So choose your thoughts carefully. Everybody knows thoughts become things. If you follow The Secret, the law of attraction, this crap's real, you guys. You got to be very careful. So number one, there's 4 steps in Rise and Reset, right? This is the first one. Watch your thoughts. It's very crazy. You guys have probably heard me talk about this before. Words turn into actions, turn into your destiny. That's very true. Very true. We're going to talk about that more a little bit later. So if thoughts are powerful, then words are just as powerful too. Whoops. So I want to talk about words. And this is where Kim Challen became a genius to me, and she gives her daughter credit for this. This is like a huge thing. If you catch yourself doing or saying something that's not healthy, it doesn't benefit anybody else. Your mom always told you if you don't have something nice to say, it's true, you guys. It doesn't matter what aspect of your life it is. This is so damn important. So these little emojis are hilarious. If somebody says, hey, don't do that, you're going to get sick. Hey, be careful, you're going to get in an accident. Just think and do it. Cancel. You know, if you guys ever went to church, I rebuke you in heaven's name and all that stuff. Same thing. Cancel. Just do it and consciously say that to yourself out loud. I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to do this. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Cancel. Okay? If somebody says anything, oh yeah, you were over there. I remember when you said turn those off. It's all right. It's all right. You'll go swimming later. All right. So the reality is, do you guys understand what I'm saying? Do you guys have you ever think back to a time in your life where you ever just caught yourself and made yourself feel better or something else better happened? So just catch yourself and cancel. I don't know how else to say that, but practice makes perfect. And I do that a lot. And now I'm just like, cancel. I'm not doing that. You're not going to suck me into your crap. All right. Number 3, fear. Choose to be fearless, right? Fearless. Fear. We're not born with fear. As a baby, when a baby's born, we're not born with fear. It's something that was learned. And honestly, it's something that a lot of society has put in our minds, our hearts, and our souls. There's really nothing to fear. There really isn't. If you have fear, it's something that is false evidence appearing real. We've all heard of that, right? But Kim Challen also reminded me, face everything and rise. There's nothing wrong. So that brings me to my favorite quote from Will Smith. Fear is not real. It's a product of your thoughts you create. Nobody else creates this but you. But here's what's powerful. Danger is very real, right? If you're on a tightrope over the Grand Canyon, that's real. You should be feared because that's dangerous and you're stupid for doing it. But fear of picking up the phone and calling an agent, there's nothing fearful about that. That's all in your own crap. You got to let that crap go, right? This is where we talk more about fear. I like this. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we're living our fears. So anybody sitting here right now living their fear and not their dream? I know I am. And I'll admit it to you guys, one by one. I will be upfront and honest with you. I am fearful of a lot of crap, and I'm learning and teaching myself how to not do it anymore. I'm going to pick up the phone and do whatever I have to do. I'm going to do what it takes to make a humongous difference in my team, in my life, my friends, my family. I owe it to them, and I owe it to myself to not be full of fear. Fear is bullshit, and I'm not doing it anymore. Anybody with me? Yeah. All right. Michael Jordan. Never say never because limits are like fears. They're often just an illusion. Powerful quotes, you guys. Like, think about these things. And these are the kind, remember back in the 80s where they had the pictures of the hills and the golf course and they have these motivational quotes? I want to put these up in my room and learn these and live these. And I love that. All right, so number 4. This is where you rise up. This is where you draw a line in the sand. You're done being filter, Mike. You're done being scared and no more fear. You have to draw the line in the sand and say no more. I am not going to live my life like this. I'm not going to let somebody else build my dream. I'm not going to let somebody else design my life. I'm over it. I'm going to go to the next level. Now, if you have fear, okay. I get emotional. So I was talking to a girl yesterday, and she's, I don't want to give her away, but she's part of Club Wealth, one of the things, and she called me for some help. And I just did this presentation. I just did it. And I felt kind of funny about talking to her about EXP because of that fear that I put in my own brain, right? And what I realized was I have fear and I need to stop. And I started talking to her about EXP and what it could do for her life. And she was in tears in about 20 minutes because it's amazing what a couple grand a month could do for somebody. So think about the other person. If you have some fear in you, what could you do to change that person's life? They are on their knees crying and begging God for something to enter in their life to change their life. And if you are dealing with this fearful bullshit, think about what you could do for their life. Are you helping that other person by not doing what you're supposed to be doing? If you truly believe that this is the very best opportunity for you and everybody else around, then you owe it to yourself and that person. Does that make sense? Yeah. So is it bigger than you? And I like this. I've been seeing a lot of this on Instagram lately. Have you seen the hashtag it's bigger than me? Didn't mean nothing to me until very recently. It is bigger than me. It's much bigger than me. And I'm finally getting that. I was joking with Deanna yesterday. She put an Instagram post for me that said give and take. I'm like, what does give and take mean? And I'm texting her at 6 in the morning. What does that mean? Is it like a band or like, is it something? And so we had a little discussion about it, but this is the same thing. It's much bigger than you guys, right? Let's say that you don't want to design your own life, or you don't want to help yourself, or you don't want to build your dream, but why would you not do it for somebody else? Somebody else needs you. Somebody else needs the knowledge you had. Think about it. I had HomeSmart for 5 years, and I just wish somebody really would have changed my life year one, not completely went through all the pain and misery I had to go through. I mean, you guys don't know my story, but I'm still paying off hundreds of thousands of dollars of bills by myself from this company. If I could have stopped that in the beginning and saved all that pain and misery, I think about how many lives I could have changed since then. I mean, we're changing your lives now and you're changing other lives now, but what if I just could have done that back in the day? What if I wouldn't have had a hard head and I would have listened to more people? All right. Is your purpose bigger than your fear? That's another powerful one. Like, think about, and I hate to say it, it's so cliche these days, your why. Like, think about your children, think about your parents, think about whoever you're trying to take care of or help or take some pain and misery away from. Think about those people, right? Is your fear more important than them? Hell no, right? Like, I go to battle every day and I still have fear, and I want to get over that fear because it's not about me all the time. It really isn't. Don't sit on your talents. Have you guys ever read that in the Bible? I don't want to be the person that sits on my talents. I have a talent, and you guys have a talent too. You guys have things in your mind, and you have opportunities that people deserve to know about. If you sit on them and hide them in your pockets, who does that help? Nobody. Like, you're not helping anybody by hiding what you have. It's your duty to share awesome things with awesome people. Does that make sense too? You guys believe that? Okay. I'm afraid to change, but I'm way more afraid not to, right? I'm 47 years old. I'm living a life that I did not design. I'm living a life that I did not build. I've built a lot of dreams, and I've built a lot of crap for a lot of people. It's now my turn, but I need to change. And if I don't change, I'm going to be in the same rat race, in this finite world of selling houses, that if I break a leg or get hurt, it stops. It doesn't happen anymore. But we have an opportunity. So if I don't change and I'm too afraid to change, nothing's going to happen. You guys like that? Okay. All right, so that was number 4. All right, so let's talk about some of the things that get in our head, and I call it trash in our heads, right? My favorite thing is people say, well, I don't want to be involved in an MLM. I don't want to be involved in a pyramid scheme. It sounds Amway-ish and Herbalife to me. Have we all heard that? Yes. Do we hear it daily? Yes. Okay. So let me give you a good tip, first of all, and this is what I say to everybody that says that. I say, let's look closely at an MLM and a pyramid scheme. An MLM is a fad, a trend, or a service that it goes away, or somebody is trying to teach an unqualified person a service that they have no business doing. So I'll give you some examples. A lot of you aren't old enough to remember, but I was fascinated one day by these balls that went in your washing machine with laundry detergent. Does anybody remember that crap? I honestly thought this was the best thing in the world because I'm a stupid dude that doesn't know how to do laundry, and this is their thing. You put the ball in and go. I'm like, I'm gonna be a billionaire selling this crap. Now, mind you, I'm selling 150 homes, making over $1 million a year at Remax back in the day, and I'm like, I'm gonna quit selling homes and sell balls. This is a true story, right? A true story. But what I had to realize is it was a fad and a trend. It goes away. We all know some of the things like Monavie and some of those things. They're just fads and trends. But more importantly, they're duplicatable. So any company can come out with that. If you look at some of the MLM companies, their products are no different than 100 others. So that's what network marketing separates people from the rest. There's some people that are so good at selling isogenics and so good at selling some of these awesome products that they can make a living doing it. But the reality, it doesn't affect globally unless you have a huge, strong team to push that. Now let's talk about services. My favorite is life insurance, financial planning, and what was the other one? Doesn't matter. But here's the deal. When somebody got me into life insurance and financial planning, again, when I was at Remax selling crap ton of homes, you know, I like sparkly objects, right? I'm expressive. Anything that sparkles, I'm like, ooh, the next best thing. So it doesn't matter. Like, you give me an infomercial, I'm buying it, right? So I'm like, cool. I'm gonna make millions selling life insurance. But was I qualified? No. Did I have the freaking like knowledge, college, all this stuff? No. At the end of the day, was I gonna buy life insurance or financial planning from me, or was I gonna go to a true professional, right? Some, and I'm not gonna say not anybody can do it. There's some that are gonna go into Primerica and thrive and be really good financial planners and all that stuff. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? A fad, a trend, a service. Is real estate a fad, a trend, or a service? No. Is real estate going away? No. Do we know our company is secure? Yes. Okay. So that's what I tell people, and that's how I get over the MLM and pyramid scheme. Now, this brings me to the black sheep syndrome. Now, remember, there's millions of sheep in this world. We're the black sheep. We're the risk takers. We're the go-getters. Is different wrong? No. We're just different. Why? Because we see things differently, and we're doing things differently, and we're taking advantage. Now, where's the safest spot to be? So all these sheep are like, come back, that's scary out there, don't do that, no! It's always been this way, it's safe. And we're the black sheep going, screw you! I'm gonna go make money, I'm gonna go get agent ownership, I'm gonna go get revenue share, I'm gonna be the cloud-based brokerage that makes sense. Like, come on, people. We're the black sheep, but those people that are the naysayers and the haters back there going, no, it's so much better here, don't disrupt, and but F that, right? Like, no, I'm gonna be this black sheep out in front, I'm gonna take every coyote and wolf out and throw them to the side. This is my life. I'm designing it, right? I'm building my dream. I'm not gonna let all these shit-tards tell me how to live my life. There's no way. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So when you have people saying, that'll never work, that's not sustainable, that's not scalable, we wanna love them first, we wanna educate them, but here's the reality. We know we're right, we just have to look for people that are looking for us, and we gotta make sure we wanna change lives, come from contribution and love everybody. Some people aren't ready. I wasn't ready, right? So we just have to realize that they're just sheep, and we're just the awesome ones that are different color. We're standing out, we're doing things different, we're doing things that other agents can or won't, right? You guys believe that? What? Yes, all right. So living in comfort is not the way I want to live, right? I want to do something that makes me feel uncomfortable a little bit more every day. That's how we get ahead. So I remember Andy, my son right here. When he was 3 years old, I put him on a motorcycle. And it was really cool to watch him, right? I made him do something uncomfortable every time we went out. That hill, there's a little bigger hill, there's a jump, and he just got better and better and better. And now to ride a motorcycle with Andy today will scare the crap out of you, he's so good. I mean, he just wheelies by at 80 miles an hour, and you're just like, no, I was kidding, I didn't mean for you to do that. But that's what I did. I made him do something a little bit uncomfortable every day to get better and better at his craft, right? The same way we push him with his video tours. If you guys don't have Andy doing your video tours, you're crazy. Because I push him to do something a little bit better, a little bit different, a little bit out of his comfort zone, because let's take it. If we do the same things we've always done, people are going to surpass us, right? And we've watched it happen, and I'm sick of watching that happen. So the haters, oh, look at that. The haters and naysayers are real, and we got to deal with them every single day. I'm so sorry about that dog. He's deaf too, by the way. He doesn't hear a damn thing. All right. So people who have said no to us bring us down. So the only way, I told you I wouldn't talk about real estate, but it reminds me of back in the day of door knocking. I'd door knock 100 doors a day. I wouldn't go home and I wouldn't sleep until I hit 100 doors, and that usually ended up about 10 contacts a day. Come here, buddy. So what happened was, I'd have 9 or 10 people tell me no, and every time you hear no, you just go beat down. You're just like, no, 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 no. And I was talking to somebody yesterday that said they needed a mental reset. They needed an attitude check, right? And that's kind of what we need to do to ourselves. Every time somebody says no to us, it hurts, and so these people are the ones that are now our haters and naysayers, but the reality is they're just not ready yet. So be careful how you treat these people, because now that I've been in this business almost a year now, I'm learning that these no's turn into yeses. I got calls just yesterday from people I talked to 6 months ago that said no before. So you got to be careful, because I remember even one of these girls I was talking to, I kind of like, just when you had enough, you're like, you're so stupid, you don't know, you're going to die broke. You can't do that. But I did that to her, and she even brought it up, and she goes, that stuck in my head, and I kind of want to talk to you about EXP, and I didn't go about it the right way. But all these people that said no, they're your pipeline. They're just your pipeline. Think about how many buyers and sellers you call every day that say no, no, no. A year or two later, they start saying, I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. We talk about buyers and their aspirational, then their research and their transactional stage. I'm looking at agents the same way. Right now, there's a lot going on with the market, a lot of shifting going on, but nobody's feeling pain yet, right? So a lot of people are doing some pretty cool stuff in the market, and they're cool, they're just cruising. Like me, when I was building my brokerage, I was like, no, get away from me, I don't want to talk to you, I'm cool, everything's fine. But I was that guy that turned into the yes guy at some point. So be very careful how you talk to these haters and naysayers. They're not haters and naysayers, sometimes they're just not there mentally, they're not quite ready. We don't know what it is. They have all different kinds of things going on in their life. They're just not ready. So be careful what you say to them. What if you listen to that in sales? So did anybody ever get into real estate and a spouse, a parent, a friend said, that's crazy. How are you going to get a paycheck? Right? What are you going to do? That's not like, how are we going to pay our bills with that? How are you going to pay your bills with that? None of that makes sense. What if you would have listened to those people? Right? And that's the same thing. What if you listen to these people that are telling you, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. Oh, that's never going to work. Oh, you're giving all the money away. How does the company make money? You guys hear these things, right? What if you did that in sales? What if somebody went to you and said open houses don't work and you never did an open house? I've made millions of dollars off open houses. What if somebody said for sale by owners and expireds don't work? I've made millions off of both them. I still could to this day if I wanted to. And there's people out there that say, oh, expireds suck. Really? Let me at them. I'll show you they don't suck. It's no different in our industry where we're at today. Amen? All right. So, and this I probably shouldn't have typed that, but I was at that point. I like, look, you can be safe, or you can be rich. And this choice is all yours, right? There's people out there that are giving up on our industry and saying, you know what, EXP is not right for me. Is it right for them? Yes. Are they doing something wrong? Probably. Are their attitudes not right? Are they not doing mental buildups every day? They are at the right place. They're just doing some of the things that are wrong. And that's okay. So you can be safe or you can be rich. All right. This is the very best one. I want you guys to take this away. Be careful following the masses. Sometimes the M is silent. Right? I heard that and I was like, that is so true. Think about when you were a teenager in high school and there was 10 guys and they all went out and freaking TP'd a house. And you're like, cool, let's go TP a house. And now all of a sudden you're grounded on a weekend. You're like, well, that sucked. Like, they're just asses, and we followed them. We were following the masses, and, you know, hey, everybody's doing it, just smoke this, and, you know, you're just like, okay, and then you regret it at some point. Hey, just get comfortable, dog. You good? All right. You guys like this so far? Is this making sense? We're going to get into some skill sets, so let's dive in. So look at our explosive growth. We're at 20, do you guys know we're at 21,000 agents, fourth largest company in the nation, and I want to debate that. I think it's number 3. So we're not a fad, we're not a trend, and it's happening, you guys. There's nothing that can stop us. The very best of the best of the best are joining our company daily. There's nothing at all that anybody can say about our company. We are the elite. We are the best company. We're the fastest growing. We've shattered every damn record that's ever been set by any company. So the naysayers and the haters can say all they want, but we're onto something huge. All right, so we got to start with our vision, right? Our vision is really important. Glenn Sanford has a vision of growing this company globally, right? That's a very big vision, but we have to align ourselves. We have to mentally align ourselves with this vision and buy into this vision, because if we don't buy into this vision, we're not going to grow with the company. So you have to understand what's going on right now. There's 203 countries and 25 million agents globally that we can best estimate or guess. That's a frick ton of people, agents. Do you understand that? That's a lot of agents. How exciting is it we're opening in Australia, Japan, China, Guatemala, South America, all these different places. Does anybody have a friend, relative, or know somebody out of this country? Every hand goes up. Isn't that funny? What if you hired the first couple people in Guatemala and went through the roof? How would you like to park your yacht in Guatemala? Because that's what's going to happen. Like, for real. So you guys got to understand these numbers are big, big, big numbers. And when Brent says we haven't even scratched the scratch of the surface, he's not kidding. This is the real freaking deal. Vision boards. You guys all have a vision board? Get your vision board. Get your vision board going. Align yourself with our company because you're somewhere special. We're the only company to offer stock and revenue share on the planet, right? That's a big deal. So that's the reason I believe, and everybody else believes, we're going to go through the roof. We're going to take over globally. It's something that's never been done. And being a cloud-based brokerage, we have the ability to do it. Do you guys know of a country with no internet? Because there is none. I Googled it. All right. So here's how I started building myself, and this is how I've been teaching a lot of people to build. So pick a number that may change your life. And $3,000 for some reason seems to be the number where people raise their hand the most. Is there anybody here that $3,000 wouldn't change their life? It does, right? That's 3 BMW payments. That's somebody's house payment. I don't know about kids' college, but that could be your kid's college payment. $3,000 seems to be the number. And the reason I picked that number is because I wanted to make sure I worked at a company that paid me that I did not pay, right? So our cap is $16,000. To be an icon, you have to pay another $5,000, so that's $21,000 on top of that, right? And then if you add up the E&O and all this other blah, 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 I figured $36,000 was right. Then I watched Gene Frederick's revenue share explanation. If you guys don't have that, make sure you memorize that. If you hire 6 agents, that I'll hire 1, which is clear and evident that anybody can do it, right? Now that's $3,000 a month for the rest of your life, $36,000 a year. I want to show you something. Tammy and I have a journey. Month 1, $721. Month 2, we hit $3,000. 2 months. Right? Not hard. That changed our life. And for almost everybody here raised their hand and said, $3,000 will change your life. Put whatever emotionally drives you, pick that number, but pick a number that makes sense to you. Now, Tammy and I have a much different number now, right? We're going to stop selling real estate when we hit $100,000 a month. At least that's what we've talked about in the past. We think we could live off $50,000 pretty good and then build the crap out of this. So here's a little bit of our journey. It doesn't matter. But when you talk to agents, when you're hiring and enrolling agents, ask them, bring them into your world, bring them down a path where you can say, would $3,000, like, there's somebody on our team right now that I love dearly that can't be here today because she's not making $3,000 a month with our company yet. That sucks, right? There's other people sitting here today that might have a job. And I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand, but might have another job that you don't want to do. Would $3,000 make you quit that job? Or would 5? Or would 6? right? Okay, so let's look at that. Let's just look at month 4, 9 grand. Month 4. It's pretty simple, right? And now you can work from that pool, or your own pool, or whatever pool, or the beach, right? So this is how simple this comes. But I want you to make goals for yourself, though. The next 90 days, how many agents will you have in the next 90 days? I'm making a big goal. I'm going to hit 40 in the next 90 days, right? We only have 23 today. But I'm going to go to 40 in the next 90 days, period. I set that goal. We're going to do it. 2 years, 10 years, etc. If you watch Brent Gove's boot camp, he goes over some numbers, and they're scary big numbers. I had the very blessed opportunity yesterday to be with only 2 people, James and another person that I'm going to be enrolling to the company, Brent's partner. We went through the numbers very scientifically for about 30 minutes from day 1 to 28 months in the business, watching them go from 0 to $300,000 a month, watching that go to $500,000 a month in 6 months, watching it going to $1 million a month in the next year. I got to watch real scientific numbers on how these numbers grow and multiply and what needs to be done. I was floored. I was absolutely floored. And yes, I told you I won't share it. I said, I'm going to record it, but I'm not going to show it to anybody. But they're really open about that. I just can't show you because the person who's on there is very influential. You guys get this? So now we're starting to learn how to build a little bit. So there's success cycle. And everything I do, I'm not very mathematical, but I want to see a cycle. I want to see things happen in a way that I could predict and I can control and I can track. And it's very simple for me, right? So I love this. Laundry today or naked tomorrow, right? Call a few agents today or be screwed tomorrow. So prospect. We need to prospect. Do you guys prospect in real estate? Liars. No, you don't. You should be. Just kidding. All right. This is no different than sales, but it's more fun. It's a lot easier, okay? Once you guys figure that out, like I'm starting to, and I'll admit, I'll put my dirty laundry out there, I'm just now finding out that it's more fun to prospect for agents than it is for buyers and sellers. I've been doing buyers and sellers for so long, it's so easy for me, and picking up the phone to call an agent was scary to me, but now I'm like, dude, it's easy. I'm like, wow, this is way more fun and way more lucrative. All right, so if you don't do this, you might get hurt. Now I'm gonna get really real with you guys right now and probably share something I probably shouldn't because my business partner is sitting in front of me. Do you guys believe the market is shifting? It has. There's a lot more inventory. There's a lot different things happening. Here's the scary part. As commissions compress, as Redfin and Realtor.com and Zillow start taking your clients away, they're gonna take your sales away. And here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna get hurt. Because I went through a really crappy recession from 2005 to 2011. Sales were cut 50%. Prices were cut 50%. That's a 75% decrease in my salary. People said, how could you have been hurting that bad? You were making 500 grand a year. Well, when you start making money, your lifestyle goes up with it, right? I had a yacht. I had 3 boats in Lake Havasu. I had a house. We never worked. I took off Wednesday. I came home Tuesday. I worked 1 day, stacked all my listing appointments, did most of them on the phone. When your sales go down 75% or your income goes 75%, I don't care what income level you are, you're screwed. But I'm here to tell you right now, when this market changes even a little bit, it's gonna sting you. So if you guys don't take advantage of the opportunity in front of you, you might get hurt. Or even worse, you might have another job. And I don't know if you want another job or not because it sucks, but you might consider this, you might get hurt. Now I'll tell you something. Tammy and I had the worst first quarter we've ever had since we've worked together. Our revenue share saved our ass 2 months in a row to the tune of like 10 grand that we were upside down because our team is expensive as hell to run. Our overhead, you see I'm not looking at her, our overhead is very expensive. But our revenue share that I promised would not go into our operating account went in there 2 months in a row to cover our bills. That sucks, right? Because I've been telling Tammy that revenue share is gonna go invest in our future, rental property and all sorts of other cool stuff that we wanna do. But we had to use it to cover our bills. Now, if we didn't have that revenue share, we'd be effed right now. We were able to skate through those months because of revenue share. Is that crazy? In a good market. Imagine when the market craps. So you guys might want to consider that. All right, set a time of day. This is no different than sales. Like Brent did his Fridays, I'm going to do mine from 11 to 1. Pick a time where you guys want to prospect just once a day. Remember, we're a real estate company first. You're real estate agents first, but pick a time of day. Pick one day. I don't care if it's Saturday from 4 to 6. I don't care what it is. Do something that gets your body and your mind and your soul on a reputation of, I'm going to call agents that day, because it is fun, promise you. I just learned that. Coaching, you guys all have some pretty amazing coaches in front of you. There's Rosie. Rosie, how many people are in your organization?
550.
550. Darren Campbell, the $1 billion man. Do you do coaching online every week? Every day. Get to know Darren Campbell. He's not even in our line, but he's one of my closest friends, and he's here. I mean, this is, we're a collaborative company. So there's coaches around you. Consider a coach. John Cheplak, he's a great coach. There's coaches all over the place, and I want to be your coach. As I learn, as I go down this path, as I go down this journey, I want to help you. I want you to learn from my mistakes, and I want you to benefit from my wins. Right? I already told you we've had some pretty good wins, and I feel like, honestly, a tenth is what I've done, what I should have been doing. Self-limiting beliefs, we all have these, and this goes back to the fear, but what are your doubts? What are your inhibitions? What's wrong? Like, let's really talk about getting rid of these self-limiting beliefs and have some belief in yourself, because this is what's going to make a difference when you prospect. If you don't believe in yourself when you're prospecting, no, it's not going to work. If you call a seller and you think you're a crappy agent, that seller's going to sense it. They have spidey sense. They know. They're like, you're a non-confident agent. I'm not going to list my home with you. Or a buyer goes, you don't know what you're doing because you don't believe in yourself. So if you don't get rid of these self-limiting beliefs, you're never going to make it. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. I've told you I'm going to be open and honest. Add all your prospects to a database. This week, where's Ashley? Ashley over there finally got my Lion Desk up and running so we can add prospects. If I pull up my phone and type in EXP in my contacts, 1,000, maybe more people came up the other day. I stopped counting after hundreds. Those people are all going to go into Lion Desk, and I'm going to schedule them just like I would a buyer and seller. It's not a big deal now because you guys have like 3 or 4 people written down on a yellow pad. And you go, I'm going to call Mike, I'm going to call Frank, I'm going to call Cindy. But when there's thousands, take it from me. It's out of control. Now, I don't know if I told you in the beginning, out of the 300 people in our organization, I have personally enrolled over 100 of them. And it's probably more. I just stopped counting because I just wanted to get to that 100. So after 100 people, I know what to say. I know what to do. I know what not to say. And I'm getting a feeling for this, and it's starting to work. We have a 50% close ratio right now. If I get on the phone with 2 people, one's joining EXP, period. It might be a little bit down the road, but it's happening, and I'm tracking these numbers. So add them to a database. Have your wealth chart accurate. Now, again, I'll be open and be honest. I started getting beat up by people around me, and I started to lose faith in the wealth chart. The wealth chart is such a powerful thing. If you don't have a wealth chart, go to brentgoveresources.com and get it, download it, have it printed out, and keep it accurate. When we were in Vegas the other day, Gene Frederick, what is he, number 2 money earner in the company, number 3, whatever, he has a new wealth chart. He built his wealth chart into his vision board. This dude has moved to Puerto Rico last week, bought a big-ass condo on the beach because, well, I don't need to get into it while we're recording, but tax purposes, he's got his wealth chart with yachts, and I mean yacht on this thing, right? So I'm going to be redoing ours and making it into our vision board. But, sorry, Andy. But these wealth charts are the only way you could track your success and watch and make sure you're on the right track. Because you guys, if you know my sponsor, Dave Golden, he's got a 2-bedroom apartment on the Strip in Vegas. You walk into this place and it's crazy. His entire hallway is his wealth chart and his goals, and you just look at this and go, oh my God, this is amazing. And he stares at it all day, and he calls and he works and just does amazing things with it. Then you go into his master bathroom I don't know why it's there, but he's got another of his hit list of all the agents. I'm like, hey, I'm working on like half those, back off. You know, it's like, it's crazy. But I mean, it's just amazing, but that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you motivated. So keep your wealth chart accurate. So one of my main goals this week is to get our wealth chart back up and erase and get it all figured out so we could track how much money we're making. After talking to James Stroop yesterday and looking at the calculators and spreadsheets and how fast this money happens, you're gonna want your wealth chart done the right way. Okay, don't be weird. So what I really meant to say on there is don't be cheesy, don't be douchey, right? Because people, we gotta understand, when you go prospecting, let's say you wanna go to open houses or you wanna go to NAREP or ARIA, something like that, there's people that will walk up to you and say, hi, I'm Mike Bjorkman, I'm at EXP. What are you doing tomorrow between 11 and 12? I'd love to give you a presentation and show you why you're such an idiot for not being at my company. That's weird, that's freaky, that freaks people out. Don't be weird. It's so hard. I know we're excited at our company. I know we love our company. I know we want to share it with the world. But how about we be friends and build relationships first, right? And I'm looking back now, because now there's almost a year under my belt. I'm looking back at people that I did it right with and did it wrong with. And the people I did it right with are calling me now. It's their time. Their brains are clearing up. Their sickness is going away. And they're starting to call me because I genuinely, authentically became their friend, had relationships with them, tried to help their real estate business, do all these wonderful things for them, and then it comes back to you. So remember, if you're gonna be talking to somebody, don't just blurt and diarrhea all over them EXP. They don't want that, they're not ready for that. Just try to build authentic relationships first. Because if you're weird, cheesy, and douchey, nobody's gonna like that. It just is what it is. So keep that in mind when you're talking to people. Go easy on them at first, like I said. Just like a buyer and seller, they're gonna come back. It's just a matter of time. That's another thing I love about my sponsor. He goes, every single one of them will join. It's just a matter of time. And at first I'm like, dude, you've been reading self-help books like crazy. You got it going on. He's right. They're all coming now. Like my Friday is booked back to back every single hour with people that are calling me. Not even outbound, people that are calling me that I've been working with over the past year going, okay, I'm ready, okay. It's getting easier because they see the biggest and best agents in the country coming and they're like, okay, I need a little more information. And what's really funny is the most what they say is, Mike, I get calls every day from EXP agents, but they're creepy, weird, and pushy. You're the only one that hasn't done that to me. Can you talk to me about it a little bit? Proof in the pudding, right? So that's what I like about that. Relationships are huge in real estate. You got to remember this. We're going to be real estate agents for a while. Some of us will always be real estate agents. But what you got to remember is if you're weird and creepy to them and you write an offer on their property, are they going to want to work with you? No, be careful because these people are your sphere of influence. They are your peeps. You want them to accept your offers. You want to be able to work with these people. So they are your relationships. Make sure you value them and keep them so tight and close to you. Okay, this is another one that I've learned. What you lack in skill, make up in numbers. And this is a good example. Picture somebody in the real estate industry that you go, I cannot believe they sell more houses than me. This person is a complete blank. They couldn't blank if you shoved blank up their blankety blank, and you're just like, how do they do this? They make up for what they lack in skill and numbers. These are your door knockers. These are your expired for sale by owners. These are your networkers. These people, they suck at everything, but yet they sell more houses than us because they make it up for in numbers when they prospect. You guys get that? You can picture that person in your head right now going, how in the effing hell did they ever do this? Yeah? You're really visualizing this. You should see your faces. All right. Number 2, prospects. This is where we start getting deep, and this is where it really makes a difference. One-on-one is a way to communicate with somebody, right? When you're making appointments, hey, what are you doing Friday at 11? I'd love to talk to you from 11 to 11:30. That's one-on-one, right? Then you have lunch and learns. Now you guys are gonna like this, I hope. Lunch and learns, from what I've been learning from the top money earners across the country, especially in Vegas a couple weeks ago, these freaking people are doing lunch and learns every single week. And we're gonna start doing them too, because they're way more rich than me. So I want what they have, right? So wouldn't it be nice to know that every single Thursday at 1 o'clock, you have somebody doing a lunch and learn you could send your clients to, or your potential prospects to. That's what we're going to do, right? Wouldn't it be nice to know every single week at a given time you're going to have a webinar that just magically happens live. So all week long when you're talking to people, you can say, go on Mike's webinar. It's going to be Wednesday at 4. And you know it's going to happen every single time. And if I'm in the Bahamas and don't have internet, whatever, somebody will cover for me. Won't that be nice? So now you know that you can send somebody at any time for a live presentation. You guys know we do this in the world too, right? Every single day almost. Orientation. You guys should know that. Sharing a video. And this is simply you go, hey, Joe, I want to tell you more about my company. Hey, do you want to watch a video and get a little more information? That's okay, but it's not effective. Most people aren't going to watch a video unless they have a really compelling reason, and most agents are way too busy. And then my favorite thing I've always said, have you ever noticed the busier the person, the more broke they are? The people that say I'm too busy for that, they're freaking broke. They're so busy doing busy God only knows what, they're broke. They're not open-minded, they're not risk takers, they're not pioneers like you. I'm too busy. Whoever says that to me, I know you're broke as hell, you're in debt, and you're probably 2 minutes from bankruptcy and losing your house. Don't tell anybody you're too busy for something good. No, don't ever use that stupid term. Zoom meetings are the best. My success ratio is, I won't even talk to somebody unless it's on Zoom now. I won't, I just won't. It's not worth my time. I won't do it. So if you guys don't have Zoom with MikeB.com or Zoom with MikeD.com, get your Zoom down. That's how I communicate with everybody. They can see my face, my hands moving, they can see my passion, understand my tonality. It's different. Three-way calls are dead. Don't ever try to get me on a three-way call. I won't do it. It doesn't work. So ATM, do you guys know what ATM is? That's social media, ad, tag, and message. It's something that we could have a separate class on, but it's very carefully done. It's a science that we've perfected. Add people, tag them, and message them. So there's a very very systematic way of doing that. We'll probably do a webinar on that in the EXP Pros. Flick movie nights. When we were in Vegas, we learned that Rob Flick, who does the most incredible presentation, people are actually having people over to their house at night and saying, hey, we're going to watch a Rob Flick movie. Come on over with you guys. Would you guys like to come to our office and do that, have some pizza and beer and watch that and talk about it and learn from it? Because we're going to start doing that too. Wealth chart classes, it's not rocket science. You watch the video twice, now you can teach it. So we're going to be doing that too. So you get people and you have your friends say, hey, listen, let's go over to Mike's office. Let's go over to so-and-so's house. We're going to have some pizza and beer. We're going to hang out. We're going to watch a 15-minute video and talk about it with other agents. You interested in being social? Let's go. Not a big deal. But the top money earners in the country that I'm talking making 100, 200, 300 grand a month are doing this. So guess who's going to start doing it? Because I want what they have. Right? I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I just need to do what these people are doing. Real estate training events, we're pretty good at that. You guys have seen me do real estate training events, stuff like that. And I love doing them, right? I don't like doing the art of selling real estate, but I like showing people how to do it. So if you have an opportunity for me to come wherever you are, and if the right audience is there, that's what you should do. Or not just me, other industry professionals. That's a really good way to get in front of people. You know what I should probably start? Lunch and learns, I'd like for you guys to learn how to do them yourself. Plugging into this is really powerful. What happens is it teaches you leadership, right? The faster leadership can be organized, the faster we can create our momentum, it gets better. So if you are doing lunch and learns, you create power within yourself. You turn yourself into a leader, and you get over a lot of crap. Like standing up in front of you guys is scary, right? Like, does anybody want to come up here and do this? Like, most people are like, hell no. It's just repetition, and it gets easier and easier over time, but it's super hard. Does that make sense too? Lunch and learns you should do yourself? All right, so this is the holy grail of EXP, and this is your chicken list, right? You guys can already see what this is. Butterflies in the tummy. And I'm doing this so damn good right now. I'll pat myself on the back all day long. It's called whale hunting, right? I don't want to go out and fish for guppies. I want whales. I want big-ass influencers. And I feel I'm doing it right now. I'm going to hire probably 10 of them in the next 30 days that are going to blow effing minds. People are going to be like, are you kidding me? Those are whales. But they were on my chicken list. They made me, I wanted to throw up before I called them. They made me so nervous. Like, it's like calling God, like that's, you know that feeling you get, that lump in your throat where you're, that is your chicken list. You have to call your chicken list. The bigger they are, the better they are. Whoops, let's go back here. Pre-qualify, but don't prejudge. The best example I can give of this is me, right? Pre-qualify, you want to know they're kick-butt people, good agents, ethical, good reputation. Pre-qualify them as somebody you'd like to do business with or will fit good at EXP. But don't prejudge. Worst thing you can do. Everybody in our company said when I joined EXP, holy shit, you joined EXP. I would have called you, but I never thought you would have joined. Jay Kinder, Fred Weaver, Jeff Willems, Tom Daves, the #1 Keller Williams agent in the world, joined EXP. I wanted to call Fred Weaver, right? I never met him, but I wanted to call him. I'm like, 2 weeks later, boom, join the company. These are people you don't want to prejudge. The bigger, the better, the more influence they have, the smarter they are, the more they want to succeed, the more business-minded they are. So call your chicken list first. Don't prejudge. Butterflies in your tummy, we talked about that. If I could, would you? So that's something that we've always done in NLP. If I could do, would you, right? So Jay Kinder talked about this a lot in Vegas last week. And yesterday, I'm talking to a whale. And I mean a whale of just stupid whale size. And I said, listen, if I could get you on the phone for 15 minutes with Brent Gove's partner that does all the analytical side to show you their growth and their journey, would you get on it? And he said, yes. Took me 2 seconds. I texted James. I said, dude, I owe you $1 million. I need you on the phone today at 2 o'clock. Can you do it on a Zoom? And he said, yes, right? If I could, would you? Do you think watching $300,000 a month income was a little influential for the person I had on the phone? Yeah. That person is very serious about joining, a lot more serious than they would before. So always remember that. If I could do this, would you? If I could get you on the phone with Mike Bjorkman to show you how to do a geographical farm, would you? If I could get you on the phone with Brent Gove to talk to you about his success within the company, would you? There's a lot of different things you could have happen. You have tremendous support. If you have somebody that wants to talk to Rosie, it just doesn't matter. All of us are here to support you guys, and you guys need to use that and other people in the organization. Other people in the organization. Have a backup in mind, because if you're brand new in the business and you've only had like 2 recruits, and you're going to say, hey, I'm going to call, the #1 agent in Utah, whatever, and you're going to get on the phone and be like, because that knot in your throat doesn't go away when you get the whale on the phone, and you could screw it up really bad. So I would say have a backup plan in mind. Say, hey, listen, if I could, would you? Great, transfer that to somebody else. You don't want to screw that up, right? Until you have the skill set or the confidence to do that, have a backup plan. Like before you call that person, say, I want to get them on the phone with so-and-so because so-and-so has that kind of talent. So-and-so has that kind of experience. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so don't screw up that. Influencers, the bigger they are, call them. Those are the ones that want EXP. Business-minded people. Now, when I say business-minded, who do you know that is in your sphere that's business-minded? Like I can think of a lot of agents that have not just been real estate agents, but they've opened mortgage companies, or they've opened escrow companies, things like that, or property management companies. They're like, hey, we want to take our business to the next level. Those are the people that want predictable monthly cash flow. Those are the people that want financial freedom. Those are the people that want to do big things because there's not a better opportunity and there's not an easier opportunity out there. So a smart person, like I got another whale on the line right now, and I'm going after the wife, and I finally realized the husband is the decision maker. So I get this guy on the phone, and I'm like, dude, like, you're the business-minded, the brains, the operational guy behind this. Within 24 hours, they're thinking of joining, finally, because I got him on the phone and stopped messing with her. Does that make sense, too? All right. Open-minded people, obviously we talked about that. Risk takers, we talked about that. Highest quality only. Now, this is the biggest deal to me. That's our taco guy, I bet. He knows that's his entrance. All right, so if you guys get anything out of today, this is the most important part. So did you guys see that? Anybody see the video I posted at EXP Pros about the time suckers? No? All right. I suck at doing this, but I'm going to try to explain it. There is energy and time suckers, and there's energy and time givers, right? The energy and time suckers, there's been a couple of them that you know well that left our organization recently, right? They're always bitching. They're always moaning. They get you on the phone and just drain you dead. And you get off the phone and you're just like, are you kidding me? And honest to God, I think they do this for a living. These are the people you don't want, right? These are the energy and time suckers. If I've learned anything in the last year, go after only, and I mean only cappers. And how many does it take to cap in California? Like 6. So if you're not selling at least 6 houses a year, no offense, come talk to me and I'll help you. But but the agents you're going after, let's have quality agents that fit the company. Because what I've learned is agents that need a lot of hand-holding and that are huge pains in the ass, they come, they suck all your time, they suck all your energy, they're not getting their butts kissed. Have you ever met an agent that bounces from company to company to company to company to company to company, and they just get all excited because that particular broker is kissing their ass today? Once they're old, they go to the next broker and oh my God. Stay away from these people. They're not a good fit for our company. I've enrolled agents that do 50, 100, 150, 200 transactions a year. I'm worried because I don't hear from them. They get their crap together. They get their staff lined up. They do everything the right way. They manage themselves. I'm like, can I help you? Oh, I don't need you. I'm like, come on, let me help you. Like, these are cool people. These are the people you want. The people that are not cappers, try to put them on the very end of your priority list. I mean the very end. Chicken list, non-cappers, okay? And again, if you're not a capper, I don't mean to offend you. It's just, if you're here, that means you're not a pain in the ass because you're trying to better yourself. But the other ones, they're just a huge, oh my God, am I digging? All right. We got that? Hey, wow, I got that. All right. So we can talk about the yes, Rosie.
I think the reason for that is because people who that you're talking about right now, they don't come from contribution. They're like takers.
Yeah. They're energy suckers. Right. They're not energy givers. Right. Jack. All right. Leadership. Leadership's important. You could read these on your own, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go through this. Work on yourself first. You guys, if you want to succeed in this company and you want to grow in this company, you need to be leaders first. Now, you need to work on yourself, and I think it's 3 down on my list. The best type of leadership is self-leadership. You have to plug in, right? You can't succeed in this company if you don't know how to navigate in the world. If you're not in the workplace every single day. If you're not truly plugged in and truly being a leader in our industry and in our company, you're not going to succeed. I tried to fake it, right? I tried to. And Brent Gove even jokes around and says, I don't know how to email and I don't know this. I'm just the beautiful face of the company. There's nothing passive about passive income right now in my life. I'll be honest with you. We call it residual passive income. I'll even joke around sometimes, part-time. I lie, okay? It's freaking hard. So the reality is work on yourself first, because if you're not dialed in, or if you BS yourself and say, I got this, no, you don't got it, because I don't got it. I'm in there every single day trying to learn about our company and trying to teach others about our company. If you don't have it, you can't teach it. If you don't have it, you don't believe it. If you don't believe it, they're not going to believe you, okay? So work on yourself first. Plug in. We talked about that. Best type of leadership, relaunch and restart. This is a good day to reset and relaunch your business. Take all this stuff I'm saying. It's not the best stuff in the world. I'm new. This is my first time doing this. But take what I say, what makes sense to you, and relaunch your business today. It's not too late. We can do this. We can start over. We have an opportunity that's unlike any other. So today, start your leadership and relaunch and recommit to yourself. Skill set, that's kind of what I was just talking about. Mindset in check, right? We want to keep that in check. We want to do how many hours a day of self-help? 1 hour a day of skill set, but at least 1 hour a day of self-help. That'll keep your mind in check. Hang out with, what does Michael Hellickson say? Turkeys don't fly with eagles. Like, hang out with powerful-minded people. Like, I talk to the best of the best at EXP every day. These dudes are making so much money. I'm just, God, I can't wait to make that kind of money. And they're just positive and they're happy. They're changing the world. No hater, no naysayer could even touch their lives, their mind, nothing. These people are freaking amazing. That's who I talk to every day. Those are the only people I talk to every day. Every single other person that's not like that is dead to me. And I mean dead. Out of my life, completely dead to me. I will walk away from anything, anybody, any circumstance that is going to try to tell me differently. I will walk away from millions of dollars. Like, look, you don't think Compass offered us a shit ton of money a couple years ago? I walked from that. Like, no. I mean, everybody's dead to me that's not aligned with our company. Does that make sense? Okay. Mindset, very powerful. Events build leadership. We talked about that a little bit with Lunch and Learns. Loud and proud. We want to be loud and proud about our company. Because if we're not loud and proud, people don't think we're excited about our company. But remember what we said about cheesy, douchey, and weird. Okay? There's a difference. Let me see what else I put here. We talked about that, the most busy, the most broke lead. Let's go back to loud and proud. So there's people in our industry, and they're very available on social media, and they are doing really stupid things. They're making us look like fools, right? Our clients are on our social media. We want them to know that we love and do a very good job at selling homes. If you do stupid stuff on social media, that diminishes your chance of doing that, right? So what do we want to be loud and proud about? Well, if you follow EXP announcements, yesterday you saw people post, we're the 4th largest company. Our quarterly earnings have never, ever, ever been what they've been on a real estate company on the NASDAQ before. There's things that are announced every day about our company that is mind-blowing. That's what we want to be loud and proud about. We don't want to be in the circus of EXP. There are agents that are in the circus. We don't want to be that. We want our clients to respect us and call us and have us buy and sell homes with them. Fair? All right. Lead by example, obviously. I'm trying desperately to lead by example. I will continue to do so. And if you guys see me doing something weird, call me out. Because there has been times where I've gone over the edge into EXP craziness. And I need to be pulled out sometimes. Who holds you accountable? You need somebody to hold you accountable. Is it your mom? Is it your brother? Is it your cousin? Is it your mother? Is it somebody in your office? Somebody has to hold you accountable. We call it accountability partners. We have them all over in real estate, so why the hell wouldn't we have them in our revenue share growth? Make sense? Somebody has to hold you accountable. Who holds me accountable every day? Rosie, I owe her $100 because I didn't go to the gym yesterday. Right? She was on the phone, crack of dawn today. Hey, where are you? Here I am, sweaty. I'm here. Like, I probably wouldn't have gone today if I knew she was not going to bug me, right? Like, that's accountability. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to the gym because her face is going to be on my Marco Polo going, where the hell are you? Like, it's a big deal. Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about leadership. I like this. We set the stage for success. We have to set the stage for our prospects because if they're not a good fit, we don't want them, right? So let's talk about that. Be upfront and honest. Is EXP the easiest thing to onboard to? Let's tell them up front. It sucks. 2 weeks of hell, right? Set the stage. Set it for success. Our 2 weeks sucked. Your 2 weeks sucked. Everybody else's sucked. It's getting better, right? Yeah. When I say onboarding, I mean onboarding like going through the process of learning and all the sky slope, all that stuff. It just sucks, onboarding. And I'm not saying getting into the system, but the whole process sucks. And so set the stage for it. Just tell them everything that's going to happen. Find their why. If you're going to hire and enroll an agent, let's find out why they want to switch companies. Why on earth would you want to switch companies? Now, John Cheplak taught me something very important. And this is how I close almost every one of my appointments. And I say, hey, Tammy, what company you're with?
HomeSmart.
HomeSmart. And before HomeSmart, where were you?
Remax.
Awesome. Did something change, or did you find something better at HomeSmart?
Yeah, shiny object, better stuff.
Gotcha. So you found something better one time. If you knew there was something better out there again, would you be interested in learning about it?
Sure.
Absolutely. Nobody in their right mind is going to say no because they've done it once. Did something happen? Did something change, or did you find something better? That is a really cool thing. So if you found out what sucked at their last company and it wasn't the company, it was them, you might want to set the stage. Look, just so you know, Debbie Penny, the most awesome broker that I've ever met in my entire career, is not going to call you every Wednesday and kiss your butt for selling a home. She doesn't give a crap if you sold a home. What she gives a crap about is if you don't have your BRE number on your website, right? Nobody's going to praise you like that. This is a selfless business. Yes, we do give awards at EXP. Yes, it's once a year, and you better not freaking worry about things like that. So if you want to be on a stage with a medal, we're not the right company for you unless you can deal with it once or twice a year at the most, right? We as a team should build each other up. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people think, like people sometimes say, I have to have a meeting with 40 real estate agents every Tuesday at noon or I just can't operate. No. You're not going to have that at EXP. You can go into the stateroom, you can have that kind of meeting, we can have a meeting together, whoever has a meeting, but don't rely on that kind of stuff. Set the stage. Ask point blank, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just saying, why are you coming to EXP? You got to tell me. Is it the stock? Is it the revenue share? What is it? Like, tell me. And then if it's not aligned with our company, I'm saying it's not a good fit for you. You're going to be pissed off. You're not going to like me because you're going to spend all this money and change all your stuff, and all these expectations are not going to be met. Okay? All right. Look for runners. Now, runners are amazing. Like level 4 and 5, I'm finding more runners than ever thought possible. And I heard this back in the day, but now today it makes sense. So we enroll so-and-so, and then so-and-so, and so-and-so. And then on level 4, all of a sudden I get a hold of somebody and they're like, I never want to sell a house again. I'm going to study every day. I'm going to do this and that and this. All of a sudden they hire 10 people in a week. You're like, who is this person? I don't even know who your sponsor is. Like, you can't do that in this business, you guys. You gotta, we all have to, I have to know the level you're on. I have to know each and every one of you. I have to support each and every one of you. Because if there's a runner, I want to know about it because I'm going to support that person. That person that change our lives. Do you guys realize if just every one of us in this room hired one extra agent this month, what that would do for us? It's mind-blowing to calculate those numbers. So when I see a runner, I'm going to run with them. I need to because that person's going to change my life. So careful of those runners. Point out runners to me, to Julie, to Mike, to whoever's in your organization, Joe or whatever. Point them out because if you think they're awesome, they're probably going to be awesome. Okay? Does that make sense? So let's get more involved. I want to know, again, why I've uploaded all of you to Lion. Did you guys all get the email saying yesterday, come to this thing? Yeah. So it's kind of working. Okay. That was my first attempt to say hi to everybody. Ashley did it. Thank you, Ashley. And the video worked. You're so good. So now you're going to get a video from me every single week. And for those of you that refuse to introduce me to your organization below you, screw you. I'm going around you. Because I'm going to find runners down there and support them. So if you guys can't introduce me and you can't get me involved with them, I'll just go around you because there's awesome people down there. And while you're so busy being busy, I'm going to go find them and help them, right? And you guys should be doing that with yours and go deeper and deeper, right? And we're going to talk about that in a second too. Hello. Contact weekly. I just told you I'm going to do that with you guys. You need to do that. Keep updated lists, right? We want to every month. I told Ashley every month that list has to be refreshed. Do you know we hire an agent every single day? Every day this month we've hired an agent, every single day. It's hard to keep up with them, so we need to re-upload every month and introduce ourselves and say hi and say you have this amazing support system above you. Don't ever be lonely. That's what I love about EXP. Nothing is lonely. Everybody says, oh, I need brick and mortar. I have more fun. I talk to more people. I engage more now than I ever have in my entire life at any company I've ever worked with. I'm exhausted. I mean, I have friends all over the country. I'm like, holy crap, I'm just blown away how fried my brain is every day by how cool these people are I get to work with. We just talked about that. Just one more, rely on your partners above you. There's people sitting in front of me that I don't know anything about. Rely on me. Rely on me a lot. Respect their time. So here's where it gets a little weird. If they're not a capper, I don't want to talk to them. I'll just tell you. I don't have time. I don't want to talk to them. So if you guys have that, get them to watch the video, get them involved. You should probably practice your own leadership and learn how to present to them. But if they're not a capper, respect my time, right? I'm going whale hunting. I don't want these. And it sounds bad, but when you're talking to 1,000 people and have 5-6 appointments a day and people that are selling 200-300 homes, respect our time if you're gonna ask us for help. And this has been proven 100 times. If you have that weird feeling in your stomach, this person's a jerk, they are. If you say this person probably shouldn't join this company, you're right. Go with your intuition. It never fails. I've never been wrong about this. Every time I said that person, no, and then it sneaks in, I regret it every time. Don't, but I want it. And you get commission breath. I want it. And as soon as that person's hired, they come after me and suck my time and energy. I don't want that. All right. If you cast the vision, they'll step up. Now, people need help in the beginning. They need you to help them set goals. That's a very important part of this. Remember, sponsorship is only 50%. It's the support later that makes the difference. These people, if you cast that vision, we're going to get you making 10 grand a month, you're going to have 100 agents by blah, 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 and you work with them and help them, they'll step up to the plate. Oh, okay, I can see clear now. I have a vision. You cast that vision for me. But if you hire somebody and be that, what did Brent say, the Casanova, where you just love them and leave them? This is what's so amazing about my organization. And I didn't even know. If it wasn't for my sponsor, Dave Golden, I didn't even know what I was doing and didn't know what I was creating because he taught me right from the get-go. We have people in our organization right now with 50, 60 wide, but they have 1 or 2 deep and that's it. So they have, how many do you have personals? 50? And I'm like, oh, they must be making 500 grand a month. How many total in your organization? 65. I'm like, what? Like, how do you do that? Like, there's a secret behind this, and we're going to get into that in a second. So cast the vision. Now you have retention. Now they get excited. Now they stay. Now they have a reason to do more. If you love them and leave them, they go back to selling homes. Eventually something pisses them off. They don't get a paycheck for 6 weeks or whatever the hell happens. I don't even know anymore. But those are the things that make people want to leave. And we don't want that. So you want to help them build 3 immediately. You build a team, a core team, and then they start building. Every single one of my frontline people that I haven't helped like that are stuck, right? Or if I help somebody else and they're not helping, I see they're stuck. I looked at the numbers the last couple of days, actually the last couple of weeks, and it's so clear and evident that if you don't do this, it's not going to work. So although we only have 18 qualified, and actually 3 are falling off right now because they left our team and went to a different company, we still have 300 people in our organization, because what Dave taught me in the beginning was love them, help them, build them first, then go, then go, then go. But the reason nobody's getting anywhere is because they're not building deep. Depth builds assets, right? You can have these little liabilities on your front row, but these are assets when they're long and deep. And Brent always says, work deep by depth. And that's what he means. Bring it strong. We look for runners, we talked about. Pay extra close to knowledge-thirsty people. And there's a couple of people sitting here that I barely know. I've never seen you face to face, but you call me all the time and say, tell me more about this, tell me more about that, tell me more about this. Because if they're knowledge-thirsty, that probably means something pretty cool is about to happen. Because with knowledge comes power, and with power comes massive action. With massive action is massive results. So look for people that ask a lot of questions. Don't think they're a pain in the ass, think they're going to make you money. Because that's what they're going to do. You know, if you help somebody, like I was talking to one of my buddies in Pennsylvania today, and I'm literally telling him, you're going to get this someday. Go to expcloud.com. Stop asking me stupid questions. But he's good. He keeps hiring people, but he refuses to plug in more. So I'm working with him, trying to get him. And we're hiring right now one of the top agents in Pennsylvania. And I'm just like, you're so lucky I love you because I want to beat you. Like, you're not paying attention, you know? Watch your numbers and levels. This is new to me. I'm not a numbers guy. I like to look at the paychecks, right? But now I'm seeing there's a science behind all this. I'm like, okay. Now I'm watching how many of you are on my level 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going, okay. Now I'm getting it. Now I'm watching my numbers. Okay, I have 150 people in 100 in California, and 50 in Pennsylvania, and 35 in Iowa, growing faster than Florida, and Florida's building New York, and New York's building Wyoming, and I'm just going, okay, now I can see where I need to spend my time and where it's growing. Calculate your future income. This is what's funny. This month we should hit 20 to 25,000 in revenue share. And that's a good number for being only 8 months. But what I found out is we're only getting paid on 150 of our organization, because what I forget is the 150 that joined in the last 3 months are still closing deals at Coldwell Banker. They just opened escrow, and they're not even closing for 30 to 45 days. So now I'm calculating our income at $50,000 by the end of summer. a month. That's good. I got her halfway to retirement, right? Like we're cruising. So that motivates me to do the right thing, lead by example, and still build and do the right thing. This is going to be awesome. Because now that I know my numbers, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm not getting paid on anybody yet. This is incredible. Like the biggest builders that we've hired are just now starting to do deals, right? And some of the ones that we built 6 months ago, they already capped out. I'm like, well, that sucked, because now they stopped paying you. So it's like one of those things you got to keep rebuilding. Am I making sense or just standing up here doing this? Okay, cool. Thank your team for the cash. Now, we've tried to do this. We tried to get, I think, Kat, I tried to have you write all those handwritten thank you cards, and that lasted like a minute. Because it was 100 people sold a house. So we got to do something, and we're going to use Lion Dust now to communicate videos with people and reach out and say, thank you for being on our team. Thank you for selling a home. We're here for you. So, like, literally, there's a girl we made all $2,800 off her last month. She sold a huge house. And I didn't even know. And honestly, I was kind of mean to her a couple days before. And I called her up. I'm like, hey, thanks for the $3,000. Thanks. Like, that made a difference in our life last month, right? So thank the people. Acknowledge them. Like, real estate agents do have egos. They do need little pats on the back here and there. And we should be, if we're taking something, where's Deanna? Give and take? If we're going to take, give a little, right? God, I love that. Post it again. All right. Offer to do events. You guys see me traveling around doing events that have been very lucrative. All right, you guys ready? We're on the home stretch, I swear. Your butts hurt? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have cocktails in just a minute, but this is where I really want to dive deep.
Go back one slide. Thank you.
I'm gonna post these in the group too.
Okay.
Sit your butt down. No, what? Get your phone? Okay. Social media. Social media is the life and death of an EXP agent. I touched on it before, right? We're going to touch on it again because I want you guys to do this the right way. I've learned a lot in the last year. I've talked to a lot of people, thousands of them. I got our reputation. I know where we're doing right, where we're doing wrong. We are realtors first. And I told you that. Stop being recruiters on social media. Your clients want to know you're selling homes. Is anybody in this out here declared they're only a recruiter? Only. Okay, so stop acting like it because you're confusing your clients. Oh, look at that. God, that was good. Don't be cheesy. We talked about that a lot. Now, I can't say it enough. There is an organization around us close that is cheesy, and people are talking mad trash about them. And I'm embarrassed. They're my friends. I'm like, you guys got to stop being cheesy. You're actually starting to hurt my reputation now because you tag me in all your crap. Stop it. Like, no more cheesy. We all make mistakes. Right? I told you that. Call me out when you see me do it, because sometimes we get emotional about our company. We're so loud and proud, and call each other out. And just say, listen, I don't mean to be mean or whatever, just that's a little cheesy, or maybe don't use that word. I would have reconsidered. Maybe you could redo that post. Maybe delete that post. Hey, you're being a douchebag. Like, take that down, right? All right. Cheesy's better? All right. So I love a lot of my friends that are in the three-ring circus of EXP. Remove the tags of stupid stuff. I spend all day doing damage control. Remove tag, remove tag, remove tag, remove tag. It's okay to remove a tag. They don't know. They're not paying attention. Remove that. Don't be associated with the three-ring circus. Just kidding. Pay attention to lives. Do them carefully. Facebook Lives have been one of the most instrumental things for me in getting people to call me. And it's just recently that's really starting to work because of the repetition. But be careful what you say, because remember, your clients are watching this. I can't remember who I was talking to. It wasn't too long ago. I was doing a live, and I looked at the people on the live. Oh, I was doing a watch party. We were doing a live, but I started a watch party. So, and I look at there, and there's like 25 people watching. None of them were realtors. They were all my clients. And I was like, oh my God. I took this live and completely switched it around, how our marketing, our technology, how all these things are helping sell homes faster for money. I changed this thing around, and like the dude I was talking to was like, where are we going with this? And I'm like, oh my God, there's all my clients watching, and it finally clicked with them. And I'm like, yeah. So be careful what you say. It's not about revenue share. Yeah, we're making tons of money off realtors. hey, how are we helping the community, the industry? How are we keeping a good reputation and making sure our company is classy first? Post a few times a week. You have to be on social media and be loud and proud. We talked about that a little bit. Follow the big dogs. If you don't know who the big dogs are, I can help you start following some of them because they're very good at social media. They know what they're doing and they're doing amazing things. And not only that, they're making a lot of money and a lot more than I am right now. So you want to follow them. Share all the things we're proud of. I talked about that before, about our growth, about our stock, about things that the company's doing, breaking records everywhere. Share that kind of stuff. Okay. You like that? Was any of that helpful? Give yourself a hand for being here.